I mean, they're projected to lose between 2 and 400 million on this.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Disney is scrambling to fix a huge mess after their Snow White remake flopped badly at the box office. Insiders are calling it a $120 million disaster. Behind the scenes, Disney bosses are panicking, holding secret meetings, blaming each other. And here's the real shocker. They're even asking the lead actress to pay them back.
The thing that really shocks me about this story, Disney and all these media companies, they invest hundreds of millions of dollars into these projects, right? Have they ever thought about maybe like a little bit of vulnerability study, opposition research, that sort of thing before you go and hire some Zoomer who's a lunatic?
Yes, you heard that right. Rumors are flying that Disney might actually make Rachel Zegler pay back some of the money they lost. Why? They're blaming her for damaging the brand, handling PR poorly, and bringing tons of bad publicity. And this isn't just some behind-the-scenes gossip. Insiders say this could be a first in Hollywood. After the movie's awful opening weekend, top Disney executives reportedly held an emergency meeting to deal with the fallout. That's when the conversation allegedly shifted to Rachel's behavior, like those viral interviews where she mocked the original Snow White, her controversial political takes, and her out-of-touch press tour. Some execs think all of that might have broken parts of her contract.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no prince or a different kind of prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because we cast a guy in the movie, right. Andrew Burnap, great dude. It's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows?
I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess. I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Some sources even claim that Disney's legal team got involved, looking into her contract for possible morality clauses or PR-related performance triggers. It's like a corporate battlefield dressed up as damage control. And Rachel Zegler might be the first to take the hit. What's even more shocking? The mood in that high-level meeting. According to one insider, Disney's top execs weren't just upset, they were furious. One reportedly yelled, "She torched $1 billion brand in under a year, and we paid her to do it." Another source said the idea of making her pay something back was met with serious agreement in the room. Whether that means taking back bonuses, canceling future deals, or forcing her to apologize publicly, it's not clear yet. But one thing is, Disney no longer sees Rachel as an asset. She's now seen as a liability.
And then they had to hire a special media consultant for her to follow her around all the time and make sure she didn't continue shitting on Snow White and the prince and young love and women who want to get married and Steven Spielberg, the executive producer of her previous movie, and white people who she claims wanted to know if she was really a Latina on her first movie.
And here's where things get even messier. While the public sees Rachel posting apologies and trying to walk things back, what most people don't know is that those posts might not be her choice. Some insiders say Disney's PR team helped write parts of her apology, pressuring her to appear more remorseful in hopes of calming angry fans and softening the backlash. If these rumors are true, Rachel Zegler isn't just being blamed for the movie's failure, she's being made to pay for it, both financially and emotionally. And if Disney actually pulls this off, clawing back money or changing her contract, it could shake up the entire industry. Hollywood would never look at star power the same way again.
They've been in a full meltdown about this girl for a couple of years now, and how they had her tweet out like a little, "Yay, Snow White, can't wait, so excited, I love to play her." And she did it and got millions of views, and they were like, "Good job, Rachel." And then she minutes later followed it up with, "And never forget, free Palestine."
And isn't her co-star Jewish?
Yes, Gal Gadot, whatever.
Gadot.
I mean, what?
Yeah.
Wow.
They tried, they flew an executive, one of the producers, out to go visit personally with Rachel Zegler to say, could you please take that down? Because we understand you can have your political views, but those aren't really helpful while you're trying to build an audience for a movie. Maybe you could save them for like your diary and your friends, but like maybe not, maybe just take the tweet down. And she wouldn't.
Rachel Zegler is reportedly in complete shock, even holding back tears after learning just how badly Snow White bombed. Insiders say she truly believed this role would launch her into stardom as Disney's next big leading lady. Instead, she's now caught in the middle of a corporate meltdown. What started as a dream gig has turned into a PR nightmare, with the movie's failure wiping out any excitement she once had for playing such an iconic character. This film was supposed to be a major win for Disney, a key part of their plan to reimagine animated classics for modern audiences. But instead, it's being labeled one of their biggest box office disasters in years. Critics and fans alike are saying the movie didn't just fail to perform, it completely missed the mark. What was meant to be a nostalgic, feel-good blockbuster turned into a high-budget warning story about what happens when messaging takes over the magic. Fans say the tone felt off, the casting was questionable, and the marketing was all over the place. In the end, the film didn't just flop, it pushed away longtime Disney lovers and failed to win over new ones.
Isn't this the one where they actually took the dwarves out of the seven dwarves?
Yes, we have CGI dwarves now.
Okay, yeah, because little people didn't need jobs either.
It's Peter Dinklage wanted the whole field to himself. Went out there and was like,
the ladder down
this
behind
is
him.
insulting, unless it's me.
He kicked the ladder.
Yeah, he
The
got
ladder.
his money in Hollywood, and now he's like,
Oh,
don't
nicely
hire
done,
anyone else.
Smug. The ladder.
That was nicely done.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, he got his money acting as a little person. Now he's saying it's demeaning for them to have those roles. He acted as a dwarf on like the most popular show on TV for 10 years, made millions of dollars. Now he's like, how dare people hire dwarves to act as dwarves? It's ridiculous. He got his money and then kicked the ladder down behind.
Social media is buzzing with speculation as people try to figure out what really went wrong with Snow White. Fans and critics alike are digging into everything, behind-the-scenes drama, casting choices, and Disney's overall strategy, wondering how a studio known for hits could miss the mark so badly. Right now, Snow White is turning into a case study of how a film can fall apart when it loses touch with its core audience. From Rachel Zegler's controversial comments about the original story, to her political opinions, to the film's dramatic departure from the beloved classic, it's clear the disconnect wasn't a coincidence. It was built into the project from the start. Now, with Backlash still growing, Disney is being forced to take a hard look, not just at Snow White, but at the future of its entire live-action remake strategy.
It's also a generational thing. I mean, her generation has basically grown up being told every opinion you have, post it online, share it with the world. You're the most special person. The world revolves around you. Everyone has to change to fit your beliefs because you're so special and you're so important and everything you say is validated and that's your truth. And that's not going away anytime soon.
It's not just a movie flop, it's a full-blown Hollywood meltdown. At first, the Snow White remake was supposed to be Disney's next big thing. Fans were excited, the budget was huge, expectations sky high. But now, the film is being called one of the biggest box office disasters in Disney's history. And at the center of it all, Rachel Zegler. She went from rising star to controversy magnet, and fast. Social media is flooded with theories. People are picking apart the behind-the-scenes drama, studio decisions, and PR strategy, trying to figure out how a Disney movie with this much money and legacy behind it could go so wrong. Some say it's generational. Rachel's unapologetic attitude, shaped by a world that tells young people to speak their truth and post every opinion online, might have clashed hard with the values of longtime Disney fans. Instead of connecting generations, the film ended up dividing them. From the beginning, red flags were everywhere. Reports say the movie's budget spiraled out of control, somewhere between $170 and $270 million, thanks to delays, reshoots, strikes, COVID outbreaks, and even a literal fire on set. Every step forward came with 2 steps back. Some insiders even joked the film was cursed. And then there was Rachel. She was a fresh face, new to the spotlight, taking on one of Disney's most iconic roles. At first, she was excited, but in interviews, she started calling the original Snow white, creepy, mocking the classic love story, and even labeling the prince a stalker. That didn't sit well with fans, especially those who see Snow White as a treasured piece of animation history. Her comments weren't seen as bold, they came off as dismissive. Disney fans felt insulted, and when she doubled down, saying the new version would strip out the romance and turn Snow White into a modern girl boss, it only made things worse. Her delivery was often sarcastic, and instead of opening a conversation, she came across as mocking both the story and the audience who loved it. The backlash was instant. Hashtags like "Not My Snow White" and "Boycott Snow White" exploded. Memes flooded the internet. And to make things even more controversial, some of Rachel's old political tweets resurfaced. Tweets where she strongly criticized Trump and his supporters. For a brand like Disney, which depends on wide appeal, this was a PR nightmare. What was supposed to be a fun fairy tale movie had turned into a cultural war zone. Behind the scenes, Disney was in panic mode. Emergency meetings were called, PR teams worked overtime. Rachel released an apology, but fans weren't buying it. It felt too polished, too perfectly timed with the film's release. Many saw it as scripted damage control, not a genuine reflection. As pressure mounted, Disney reportedly scaled back the movie's promo. Fewer red carpets, limited interviews, and an overall quieter push to avoid any more controversy. By the time opening weekend rolled around, the vibe wasn't celebration. It was damage limitation. And the numbers? Brutal. The film opened to just $43 million domestically, with global numbers barely hitting $87 million. That might sound okay until you realize the total cost to make and market the movie could top $250 million. It didn't just flop, it sank. There were no viral moments, no surprise reactions, no word-of-mouth buzz to save it. Just silence, the kind that makes studios sweat. As the dust settled, fingers started pointing. Was it the script? The direction? The marketing? In the end, most blame circled back to Rachel. She was the face of the film, and her comments had left a lasting impact. Insiders now claim Disney may be done with her. Some say future projects with her have already been quietly scrapped. Others even suggest legal teams are looking into ways to claw back money. Whether she's officially dropped or not, one thing's clear. Rachel Zegler's Disney fairy tale is hanging by a thread. Across Hollywood, producers are now hesitant. Some see her as too risky, too controversial. Worried that her involvement could spark backlash before filming even begins. So where does that leave her? Rachel could step away, regroup, and rebuild her image, or she could keep pushing forward and risk deepening the divide. Either way, she's no longer the bright new face of Disney. She's become a cautionary tale, proof that in today's Hollywood, star power can vanish overnight if you alienate your audience. The Snow White saga isn't just about a movie flopping. It's about legacy, identity, and what happens when a studio misreads the room. No amount of budget or branding can save you if you lose the trust of your fans. But what do you think? Can Rachel Zegler make a comeback? Or is her Disney story officially over? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more behind-the-scenes Hollywood drama. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Let me know if you want this tailored even more for your YouTube tone or formatted for a teleprompter script.